Guys, this is the Beatbox back with another video. Wanted to come and talk to you guys about Shane Mosley's comments on David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. This is very exciting for me. I'm a fan of both fighters, and if you're in the boxing community, you know this has been a fight that we've all been talking about and waiting for some time now. David Benavidez has had two really impressive wins in the super middleweight division over Caleb Plant and Boo Boo Andre, which he's finished both of them. Canelo didn't fight Boo Boo, but he did finish Caleb Plant in the later rounds. And you know, if you saw that fight with Benavidez and Plant, you could tell that Benavidez was really from the midpoint on probably to the 12 because it went the whole distance, which is another factor to look at with this fight with Benavidez and Canelo. Canelo finished Plant where Benavidez did not, but Benavidez definitely showed that his weight, he knows how to use his weight and he knows how to use dirty boxing. Doesn't mean he's a dirty fighter, but he does know how to use in close skills of dirty boxing to neutralize his opponent, which he did with Caleb Plant. Later on in those rounds, it was really kind of tough to watch with Caleb Plant because Benavidez was pretty much having his way with him, pushing him around, moving him around. It looked like it was very easy for him to move Plant where he wanted him to where which Canelo kind of broke Plant down throughout the rounds. But regarding Shane Mosley's remarks concerning this fight, Shane Mosley, from his mouth, says that he believes that Benavidez will be too big and too tall for Canelo Alvarez, knowing that he fought Canelo Alvarez in the past when he was a fighter when he wasn't retired. I think he has a validity to his statement. I think Benavidez, you know, if you're a boxer and you've been in there with bigger opponents, you do understand that weight does matter. There are weight divisions for a reason, and even Benavidez knows that. And if you are a Benavidez fan, you know that Benavidez has had some. He hasn't had weight trouble, but you know, early on in his life, he was bigger. He was a big boy. He wasn't always skinny or at a 168 or 180 weight level. I think when he was younger, he was like 2 plus. And he gets down to 168. Now, some would call him a weight bully. I mean, that depends on who you're talking to. You can say he's a weight bully, but then again, you can give him props for being able to get from that high weight down to that low weight and still be able to perform at the level that he performs. And I think that for me, I give him more praise than criticism for that. But I think me as a Canelo fan, I don't really think it's going to be that much of a problem for Canelo. A lot of people, well, such as Shane Mosley, calls out the Bivol fight with Canelo, trying to use that as a reason to bring validity to his statement, saying that the weight would probably be too much for Canelo. But I don't think Benavidez has ever fought anyone with the counter ability as a Canelo Alvarez. Most of his opponents, especially these last two fights, especially with a Boo Boo and a Plant, they weren't as mobile as a Canelo likes to be. And Canelo has made comments about getting back to that old Canelo that we saw against Danny Jacobs or against Miguel Cotto or Erislandy Lara. So I like to take that into concern, or not concern, but I like to, you know, try to remember that, remember who you're looking at, and who we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I know he's had his loss against Bivol, and he fought Ryder, and you know he hasn't really looked the best he's supposed to be as of late, but it's still Canelo Alvarez. The man still has 60 wins, only two losses with 39 KOs. Benavidez right now is 28-0 with 24 KOs, which is an outstanding record, and that speaks to his power. Even though a lot of what David Benavidez shows and what's great about his skill is his speed. You know, for somebody that tall and that long with his reach, he has phenomenal speed. Um, but with that being said, I think this fight. I don't think a lot of people are giving Canelo a lot of the props that he deserves. I think from a personal standpoint, where I was with Errol Spence facing Terrence Crawford, they said the same thing where they thought Spence's weight would be too much for Crawford, and we saw that that really wasn't the case. Some people say that the weight drain problem, and he can't make 147 anymore, which is I think is valid. I think if any person that had eyes could see that Errol just really didn't look right. He looked sick. He looked weak. He didn't really look himself at all. But I'm not going to be the one that brings the car accident into all of that, because I don't. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford got shot in the back of the head, so I'm saying it's a very even kill matchup when it comes to pre-injuries. But Benavidez versus Canelo, for right now, I definitely I would put my money on Canelo, just because, like I always say, man, skills pay the bills, and Canelo has been in there with the best of them. Benavidez right now, he's a young superstar, man, the Mexican monster, young superstar. He's proven that he is legit, that he is a force to be reckoned with. But right now, I still think Canelo has a lot left in the tank. Canelo's not even 40. He's not even close to 40. I'm not even sure if Canelo's 35 yet. He might be 34. People, please let me know that in the comment section. But I would have to put my money on Canelo for right now, even though Shane Mosley did make some very valid statements. But I think Benavidez, he's chasing him. He's been chasing Canelo for a while, and word out on the street is that, we know that Canelo likes to fight in May and September, and we think that the Benavidez fight might be most likely pushed into September, because he might want to have a tune-up fight before Benavidez. And in one of my last videos, I talked about Jaime Munguia and Oscar De La Hoya and his thoughts on Canelo's run as the Mexican King. And that's another fight that Canelo might take in May. And if he does take that fight in May, I think that we'll definitely have to expect Benavidez in September. But I think he could beat Jaime Munguia too. But he wants either Jaime Munguia, Terrence Crawford, and Jamal Charlo. Which are all great fights. I'm down to see either one of those. But I think he could beat all of them out of Crawford. I think Crawford would give him a lot of trouble. But with that being said, I would have to put my money on Canelo versus Benavidez, only because this is Canelo Alvarez. He's a proven commodity. To me, he's a legend. The time we even got introduced to Canelo Alvarez, he was already 42-0 when he fought Floyd Mayweather at 23 years old. And I just think he's just very, very seasoned. I don't think he's damaged goods yet. I still think he has a lot to offer. And yeah, I'm gonna put my money on Canelo. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Either you got Benavidez or you got Canelo. Do you think the weight is going to be a problem? Do you think his height's going to be a problem? Or do you think that Canelo being shorter is going to cause more problems for Benavidez, specifically off of the fact that Benavidez is going to have to punch down? But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Like and please subscribe, and I will be back with another video. Peace.